And now we move on to our next panelist, Mr. Shri Harsha Achar. He brings HR experience spanning across 34 years, cutting across multiple industries. He is currently the president, human resource at HDFC Argo. He was the former group CHRO at Apollo Hospitals. He was associated with Apollo Munich Health Insurance as executive director and V Karma Capital Investment Management Company as CHRO. So Dr. Achar, human resource leaders are currently the driving force in this crisis for holding the organization's other senior leaders accountable to its brand and purpose. It was HR leaders, for example, who were tasked with helping coordinate organizations through the entire first wave of the outbreak, making sure employees were safe, setting them up to work from home, and acclimating leaders to the nuances of virtual management. At any given moment, HR leaders are playing physician, therapist, benefit counselor, and strategist, among other roles. The HR leaders need to be a guide for finding a balance between company performance, its bottom line, and impact on employees. Now, what are your suggestions for HR leaders to successfully navigate these uncertain times and successfully adapt to the new normal?
Excellent. Thank you, Gaurav. Thank you for having me on the panel. Very interesting insights on health insurance from my co-panelists, and I spent a decade or more in health insurance. So wonderful hearing from them. I mean, the initial turmoil on the COVID-19 has subsided now with corporate India having reached an acceptance stage that the virus is here to stay and we need to coexist. So that's a given. That's exactly what I'm hearing from the market as well. I mean, health and safety concerns having been addressed, I think the thinking has now moved to medium range and long range planning. There are no magic answers at the end of the day because everybody is trying to kind of figure out what to do next. Let us start with remote working itself. Today's work from home is not the preferred work from home model, and we all know that. And this is just jugaad in the Indian language for now. It has to progress into a more humane model as we move forward. But today, home and work boundaries are blurred. And this is the complaint that I've been getting from everywhere, not only in India, but across the world. There is homework, there is office work, and there is work in between. So balancing the three, not the two, in the absence of a support system is not something that will work permanently. So in my view, work from home or remote working will not see the same kind of traction in India as our culture is more relationship-based and socialization-based. So a blended model will work better. I say this because the psychological impact of long-term work from home is not yet known. Estimates overall 35-40% of employees could shift to work from home in the service sector. Manufacturing, I think, will continue to operate as before. But flexible work patterns will call for flexible leadership skills as well. Now, talking about managing virtual teams, I mean, it's not funny when I hear people say the different kinds of things. Some organizations wanting people sitting right in front of their cameras for 8 hours. Somebody's organizing a meeting 1 hour before work starts. Somebody is taking a meeting 1 hour after work starts. So manager mindsets will also have to change for successful management to produce the desired productivity. I think there is a burnout in today's context. Trust and empowerment will become the new tools of management, and leadership skills, specifically resilience, ability to adapt, empathy, will gain importance. Now, every process will undergo change. That's a given. From the way we hire, to onboarding, to engagement, to communicating, to salary structures changing, to differential pay models being introduced, home office grants seeing an upswing, to the separation process becoming completely online. Along with that, displacements will become minimum as people will be able to work from anywhere. And all other areas in any organization in the business sense will also witness relevant changes in their respective domains. Job descriptions will change. Learning and skilling will be uppermost on the minds of people. Hard skills can be self-learned with so much of stuff available online, but soft skills will still have to be taught. And skills learned now will be relevant only until the next disruption. So this would then call for companies to introduce proper work policies, remote as well as for on-site, to ensure strong culture is built. Now, once COVID-19 is behind us, companies will start applying what they've been learning over the last 2.5 months, 63, 64 days, I guess. And companies that are going to be providing a great remote work experience, in addition to the physical experience that they already provide, will beat every company who doesn't in the next whatever number of years. It's anybody's guess. First movers will have a first advantage. Now, progressive thinking, experimentation, and flexibility. These will be the three new mantras for business leaders, including HR leaders. So to your specific question, my guidance to the HR fraternity is that changes are evident on the outside. Hence, changes are inevitable on the inside. However, rushing into the new normal is not recommended. We need to carefully consider where and when to rush to. I say this because it will be different for every sector. What applies to financial services may not apply to any other service sector, may not apply to an aviation sector or a tourism sector. So it will be different for every sector, every organization, and every person. So we will need to understand what to cope with, how to cope with before we start changing things. Now, I was reading something, and George Sanders, he's a writer, has a very fitting analogy for the current COVID-19 moment. He says, we have slipped on ice, but we haven't hit the pavement yet. We are caught in a suspended state between losing control and feeling the full impact. Now, the comparison points to a paradoxical tension that leaders must manage currently, presently, providing direction, guidance, and reassurance while acknowledging that the path ahead isn't clear. Doing one thing without the other is not going to work. Both are needed to help people find the clarity and strength to move forward. Now, balancing this tension requires to lead with humility and humanity. Those are the two key words for any leader, not necessarily business or HR. Putting people first, being upfront and vulnerable, and being supportive and connected. In the weeks and months ahead, I think leaders need to move beyond themselves. Now, it could be argued, I mean, there are many people on this webinar as well. It could be argued that my suggestions outlined are just good leadership, no matter what the circumstances. That may be true, but it misses an important point in the sense that understanding good leadership and practicing it are two different things, especially in the face of uncertainty and one's own anxiety. So caring and open-hearted leadership will not only pay off now, but also reap rewards in the future. Ladies and gentlemen on the call, I think there are three fronts that we're looking at. One is the work front, one is the workforce front, and one is the workplace front. So welcome to the new rules of the game, and the rules will be reset over a period of time, 6 to 12 months in my view, because the game of work will now be played on three playgrounds: the physical, the virtual, and the blended. So as HR leaders, we will all have to skill ourselves for the three models. And business leaders in general, HR leaders in specific, in these times should exude three traits: change, creativity, and hope. Only then we will witness solutions. But these solutions, again, will be a mix of sweet, salty, pungent, bitter, spicy, and sour. So the 10 things that I'm seeing from an HR perspective going forward is recession and job losses will happen. That is the big elephant in the room. But human motivation and determination will ensure a faster bounce back. Purpose will prevail over profits, particularly in the corporate sector. Remote working will become popular, leading to lesser displacements. However, India and Indians will still settle for a blended work environment. New regulations in all areas will make things a little more easier going forward. We're already seeing that. Mental health issues will see a spurt. It has already started. Learning and development systems will become blended, so will education. Millennials and Gen Z will be defining the transformation of the world of work. And I recently wrote on LinkedIn as well, saying that BYO culture, bring your A to Z, starting from masks to gloves to food to chai to coffee, to your own systems. That will be the new culture for the foreseeable future. Now, along with VUCA, we have two more things: vulnerability and unpredictability. So for all leaders, flexibility will become a key skill to negotiate the new code. And finally, as a couple of us have been saying, health will be the new wealth. Thank you.
I think excellent points, as always, Dr. Sriharsha. And I think two particular points that I am taking out, my key takeaways: leading with humility and humanity. I think very, very important. And I think this is the time when compassionate leadership, we all, I think, need to practice, because this crisis need compassionate leaders in every sphere of life, not only corporate, but I think every sphere of life, we need compassionate leaders. And I think the other key takeaway is the change, creativity, and hope. I think very well said, and all your commandments, I think we will take some time to absorb. And thanks a lot for sharing this valuable